I trust him when I scoot over and let you drive. I'm going to trust him when that pilot that I don't even know is up there driving. Because my ultimate trust is not in him, but in who? God. Well, y'all feeling me this morning? Because some of us, we only allow our trust in God to go so far. And then when it comes to certain things, we're controlled by fear. But the scripture is plain in 2 Timothy 1 and 7. For God has not given us the spirit of fear. God don't want his people fearing at no time. What do he want me to do? Put your trust in him. If your bills are 24 days behind, you trust God to do in your life what need to be done. How he gonna do it, Pastor? I don't know. He got a number of ways to get into your hand what you need, but he can't do it if you don't trust him. Shout to somebody and tell them, trust God at all times, and say period. I'm not going to claim to be a Christian, but controlled by fear when it comes to certain things. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to trust God. Listen, when I got money in my pocket, but guess what I've learned to do? I've learned to trust him when ain't nothing in these pockets. Why? Because I've seen him move when there was something in here. But I've also seen him move when it wasn't nothing in there. See, if you never had God move when nothing was in your pockets, you really don't know how powerful God is. Because sometimes God does not need what's in your pocket. He needs you to trust him. And he'll call somebody, oh Lord, y'all, to put in your pocket what need to be there if you will trust him. Oh Lord, I wish somebody give him a praise that's done made up your mind. I'm going to trust God at all times. I'm going to always trust God. Is that right? Trust God when you have a job. But trust him if you're unemployed. Trust him if you're looking for a better job. Put your trust in God. That's all I'm saying. Trust God at all what? Times. And listen, he's the only one that you should trust at all times. I want to mention 3 things you should not trust, especially at all times. Before I mention these things, understand, we can trust people and things as long as God has said to us, you can trust her. Come on. See, some of us thinking folks are friends right now. We don't even know these people like that. You don't call a person a friend, really, until God lets you know that's a friend. But God will also let you know how far you can trust people. Come on. Because some folk, you can trust them with this, but you can't trust them with that. Don't mean they're a bad person. You just got to know who you're dealing with. But now some folk we call friends, if we look at what they do, they're really enemies. And you don't want to tell your business to your enemy. That's where you got to know who you can what? Trust. And don't sit there and act like you ain't ever trusted the wrong person before. And I done told folks stuff in time past that I had no business telling them that. Because they immediately went and told somebody else. And they proved to be untrustworthy. But can I be honest? God has never proved to be untrustworthy. That's where you can trust him at all times. Are y'all with me? Number 1, let's start here. Don't trust yourself. So you thought I was finna deal with others. No, don't trust yourself. Come on. I'm looking at some of y'all. Don't trust who? Tell your neighbor, don't trust the person you see in the mirror. Not at all times. Can I prove it? How many have ever messed up yourself? Look at somebody that got their hand up and say, see, that's the reason you can't trust yourself. Come on. How many have been mad at yourself? How many ever let yourself down? How many ever want to hit yourself? How many talk to yourself? Get on to yourself. Okay. Put your hand down. I do too. There are times I have conversations with myself because I don't let myself down. And I be saying something, what were you thinking? Mess myself up. That's the reason. Don't trust yourself. And I hate to hear folks say stuff like, well, I got a gut feeling about this. Y'all ain't never heard the term gut feeling? Some of y'all may not be old enough. But we used to talk about how we got a gut feeling, which just simply meant deep somewhere, we didn't know where, somewhere in us, we felt like this is what we needed to do. Oh, God, I got to back up. So some of us done had a gut feeling and gave folks our numbers only to have to turn around and block them or change the entire number. But at the time you gave it to them, you were like, yes, I need to give you my number. Listen, this is what I'm trying to get us to see. When you trust yourself more so than God, you will jack up your own life. It'll be your own decisions that bring ruin, that bring pain, chaos, and drama. You cannot trust yourself. That's reading the scripture is plain. In all your ways, acknowledge who? Him or God. And he'll direct what? Your path. Don't trust yourself. Now I got to move past this, but how many have ever messed yourself up more than 3 times in your life? More than 3 times. Now some of us, put your hand down, some of us we ain't got enough fingers. Come on. And then you know you be done mess yourself up. And then folk got you sitting up here like you on a pedestal, like you just a smart. But if they really knew how many times, yeah, you got a degree, but look at how many times you still mess yourself up. Don't let nobody put you on no pedestal. I'm coming to you because you always right. The devil is a lie. I'm not always. Only one always right is. Are y'all in the house this morning? Number 2, don't trust things. Don't trust things. And finally, don't trust man. Now trust your spouse if you married to the point to what they have earned. Oh, boy, that ain't going to go over well with somebody. And somebody going to get back in the car. Pastor told me trust you for what you done earned. You ain't earned nothing. So if you say you going to get some milk, you call me when you get to Food Depot. And then when you leave, call me again. Why? It's obviously somebody dealing with a person that has violated trust. And you can act like that if you want to, but if you ain't never had nobody violate trust, sometimes you want to trust people, but you got to build that back again. Because you found out they were somewhere they say they wasn't. I remember when we first gave our children phones. This was years ago. I'm like, yeah, I need to call them. You at the game? Yeah. Send me a picture of the scoreboard. You got 2 minutes to send me a picture of the scoreboard. See, because they ain't nowhere at the game. He didn't try to pull stuff on. My battery died.